So in this video, we're going to be breaking down the heated debate surrounding Cristiano Ronaldo after his incredible response to critics. Following days of criticism, Ronaldo answered in the best way possible, by finding the back of the net and reminding everyone why he's still one of football's biggest stars. But was this enough to silence the doubters? Or do the questions about his performances against elite opposition still remain? We're going to unpack everything that was said in this discussion. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Now, let's jump right into it.
Let's just turn to somebody who has responded in the way I'm sure Steve Clarke would love one of his players to respond. Cristiano Ronaldo, I think, stuck it to his critics in the most emphatic manner, Simon, because, you know, he's 41 years old. He had 4 or 5 days of abuse, mockery, hatred. He's used to it. And I've stuck my neck out for him on social media and said, he's going to prove you all wrong. He's going to score. I took a $5 bet with one guy on TalkSport, Rory Jennings, about this, which he's had to pay to Scotty's little soldiers because he lost, because he underestimated what Ronaldo's really about. What I thought was impressive about him, I thought Portugal were really good. I thought Fernandes, because when we had this debate, he went missing in the first game, Fernandes. He was terrific in that game. But the finishing of Ronaldo was as good as it's ever been. I mean, he's not got the speed, of course he hasn't, but his finishing, and this is what Martinez has been saying, his managers, the guy remains a lethal finisher.
Yeah, but Piers, no one would dispute that, right? The last thing that goes with a boxer is his punch, right? That doesn't mean he can compete at world level. We know that if you put Ronaldo in a situation against lesser than opposition like Uzbekistan, he's going to score goals. Only a fool would say something different. If the kid wants to bet $5 for you, that's easy money. Because most people would think in a game against Uzbekistan, if Ronaldo gets a chance, he's going to score. This is not about whether Ronaldo is still a good player, because most people in their right mind would suggest he is. But when Ronaldo comes up against world-class opposition with world-class defenders, let's have that conversation again. I mean, this is the Ronaldo that you, obviously, many years ago, before you started blowing smoke up his arse, called him a spoiled brat. I mean, obviously, you've had a massive sea change and have seen the light with your little goldfish eyes about how much you love Ronaldo. But not so long ago, you were writing about him in a different way, mate.
When you say not so long ago, I think you'll find it was about nearly 20 years ago. So, yeah, it was a long time ago. And I did have
it's 17, 18 years ago.
Right, OK. So I'm sure there are some... I wouldn't like to say this for a fact, but I suspect if we look back at your outpourings in your mouth 20 years ago, there might be some movement there too, Mr. Jordan. But look, I take the point, and
you've probably both battered me over the time as well. Let's look back at a few of them.
I have definitely hammered you over the years. But I praised you as well. I like to think I'm a fair-minded chap, and if people deserve praise, I give it to them. If they deserve a whack, they should get a whack, right? I think otherwise, why would you be a pundit? Why would you be an economist? Why would you do any of these things? It's like you're not paid there to go.
But that goes to the point where what you do is you don't contextualise things in this conversation. Nobody went after Ronaldo. The two of the most vociferous voices were Thierry Henry and Ibrahimovic. Yeah. And interestingly enough, when Ronaldo runs over to the camera and says, "I'm back," Ibrahimovic's response was, "Well, whoever thought you'd gone?" Yeah. So I think there's a danger of people. We are allowed. You are allowed. I'm allowed. John is allowed to have critical observation. No one is beyond it. No one's a deity that can't ever be criticised. So the argument about Ronaldo was, did he deserve criticism for the first game? I would say yes. You offered him camouflage in the Fernandes argument, but I think he deserved some criticism for that first game.
Okay. Well, let's bring John. Okay, but John, the point I made was I don't think he got the service in the first game. He got better service in the second game, notably from Fernandes. It was an amazing moment when you see Ronaldo making the move on the right for the second goal, and he looks back at Fernandes and says, "Pass it through there," which he does brilliantly, and he scores. And it's just great finishing. I mean, let me just say, just as an overview, I think it's great to see some of the greats of the game really turning up big time in this tournament. It's great that Messi's scoring loads of goals. It's great to see Neymar back. It's great to see Haaland banging goals. It's great to see Vinicius Junior turn up. You know, this is a really great tournament, I think, and it augurs well for the knockout stage. But when you look at Ronaldo, John, we've talked about it a bit before. I just think there's something about his mental strength which is really exceptional, right? This is a guy that he attracts enormous praise and enormous hate in equal measures, but it kind of fuels him. You know, I just felt the way he reacted when he scored, it meant so much to him to just stick it to his critics.
Yeah. Piers, you know what I love about it more than anything? The goals, the movement, all of that. The fact he still shows that passion at 41 years of age. Yeah. We argue today about players of today got nothing about them, no passion, no fight. You're talking about a guy that's won almost everything in the game, individual awards, leagues across the world, all of that. And now he runs to the camera and tells the world that he's back.
Yeah.
So he's well aware of the criticism he's getting, and maybe he feels maybe not deserved, and rightly so, because I said you'd be absolutely mad to go against him.
Yeah, you did.
If anyone ever did. He's a guy that's still capable at the very top level of producing unbelievable moments. Do we expect that for 90 minutes of games? No, we don't. But give this guy a chance.
And he'll take it.
He will take it.
And you know, the other thing I was struck by was the way his teammates reacted to him, right? Because there were two moments I thought that illustrated this. One, when he scored the first goal, he ran over to all the substitutes and they all embraced him. They love him, right? And I've seen Rio Ferdinand talk about it was the same thing at United, Juventus, same thing there. This mythology that he's not a team player, he loves to score goals and he's ruthless about it, can be selfish about it, but he is a team guy that the teams he's played for, they love him. And you saw with the free kick... Well, OK, but I'm going to say that. I'm going to say that.
I would agree. I would agree.
Where was he for the fifth goal? Where was he for the fifth goal? He wasn't celebrating. He wanted to get the... Where was he for the fifth goal that the Portuguese... I looked at it and went, why is he not celebrating with this kid that's just scored the fifth goal? I know why. Because he hasn't scored a hat-trick. That's why.
Ridiculous.
I watched him.
If he was that selfish...
He was nowhere near the celebrations. Go back and look, Piers.
OK, but if he was that selfish, what about the goal from the free kick when he looked like he was going to take it and he clearly had a plan with the other guy who came in and scored the goal? And that was, again, that was not the act of this selfish, whatever that people think he is.
Listen, he's a team player. You don't get to the levels he's got without being a little bit selfish and a little bit ruthless. But at the same time, these guys know, and especially now at the back end of his career, he knows he needs the Fernandes around him. He needs the rest of the group around him. So he'll be doing everything possible around the training ground, around the training pitch, in that environment, to make sure these guys are doing everything and more to enable him to get those chances early on in games or late on in games.
John,
the only thing I would caveat...
Yeah, go on, Sam.
The only thing, let me finish this because I spend a lot of time sort of analysing managers and players and things of that nature and paring back the veneer and going behind the Wizard of Oz. This idea that we lionise players, why shouldn't... I mean, Warren Buffett still goes to work and is as enthusiastic as he was the day that he started, the cab Berkshire Hathaway. And you and I have no need to do certain things in life, but we still do it. So this idea that we have to lionise Ronaldo because he's 41 years of age and still so bundle of enthusiasm gets right on my tits, to be honest.
Yeah, but you know what I would say to that? I think he's an unbelievable role model, right? Because he shows you that age is a number, right? He's 41.
True.
He's probably got the body of a 30-year-old. He conducts himself, I think, impeccably. He's very conscious
fascinated by his body, isn't he?
He's very...
It's disturbing. It's perturbing.
Come on.
I wouldn't mind it, though.
He looks great for 41, right? I mean, he looks better than you do.
I don't spend my time analysing other men's bodies. Piers. Maybe if
is he giving you any tips?
Maybe if I go to the Iran-Egypt game, I'll spend a bit more time in that space.
If you look at my X feed, you'll see my pinned tweet is actually a clip from Ronaldo looking at me and saying, "Yeah, I can see you have good abdominals." Which has been lost on the world.
He's a top player and a fucking liar as well.
That's called a pity poke.
No, but I do think the role model thing's important. I do think he's very conscious of his influence over young people. I think when it comes to health and the way he takes care of himself, and I think the same applies to Messi, by the way. But Ronaldo, because I know him better.
Agreed.
I just think the way he looks after himself, the way he takes care of himself, the way he is with his family, with his mum, with his wife, with his wife-to-be, with his kids and so on. There's a lot to admire about him as a role model, isn't there, John?
Piers, I absolutely love him, and if you're any young player in the world, I still say Messi's the better player, but if you're any young player in the world today, you look at Ronaldo of how to be both on and off the pitch, how to look after yourself, what to eat, what to drink, how to look after your body and all of that. And also, more importantly, how to train as well. You see this guy train, he's still training at 100% every day. My issue with today's players, they train at 50, 60% and then go into Saturday's game and then want to be at 100% and then don't understand why things go wrong.
How did you train in your career? In your career, did you always give it everything in training?
Piers, I had to. I never see myself as good as the other people around me. So I always had to fight every single day. I felt that's what got the best out of me. Frank was the same. Didier was the same. These guys were animals every day. And I know, speaking to the boys at Man United, Ronaldo was the same. He hates losing in anything he does. You don't get to the level he's got without having that mentality.
I'm just going to pause it right there. Now let's take a closer look at what was just said, because there are some really interesting points on both sides. One side believes Cristiano Ronaldo has already proven everything there is to prove. At 41 years old, he's still scoring goals, maintaining incredible fitness, and showing a level of dedication that many younger players could learn from. That's why so many people continue to admire him, not just for his talent, but for his discipline, mentality, and relentless drive to compete at the highest level. On the other hand, the critics argue that while scoring against smaller teams is impressive, the real test comes against the world's best defenders in the biggest matches. That's a fair football discussion, and it's one that every legendary player faces as they get older. The expectations for Ronaldo have always been different because he's spent nearly 2 decades setting standards that very few players in history have ever reached. What really stood out to me in this conversation wasn't just the debate over his goal, it was how everyone acknowledged his mentality. Whether you love Ronaldo or think his best years are behind him, it's hard to deny that his work ethic and competitive spirit remain exceptional. Very few athletes can stay motivated after winning almost every major trophy in football, yet he still celebrates every goal like it means everything. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think Cristiano Ronaldo has already silenced his critics? Or do you believe he still has something to prove against the biggest teams in world football? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest football discussions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.